Hello and welcome to Housing TV News at the top of the hour, coming to you from our studios in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Joyce Nwosu. Our top stories. Federal government wants liberalized visa policies for Nigerian businesses. Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Architect Ahmed Dangiwa, highlights public-private partnership to bridge housing deficit. Federal Capital Territory Authority introduces e-ticketing system in Abuja. From the foreign scene, 10 dead in Cairo's building collapse. We begin with national matters. President Bola Tinubu has called for more liberal visa policies to support Nigerian businesses seeking to expand globally. His call came barely days after the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, was denied a visa by the Canadian government to travel for the Invictus Games for wounded soldiers in action in Vancouver. The president, who made the call on the sidelines of the 38th ordinary session of the Assembly of African Union Heads of State and Government in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia last weekend, noted that Nigeria has continued to create a favorable environment for foreign companies to operate within its borders. Represented by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, Tinubu said it was only unfair for other nations to reciprocate by easing visa requirements for Nigerian businesses looking to establish themselves abroad. Members of the National Assembly Osun State Caucus have condemned the political happenings in Osun State in the past few days following the judicial pronouncement on the local government elections conducted on the 15th of October 2022. The federal lawmakers, who are made up of 3 senators and 9 House of Representatives, said their decision to call for a press conference to condemn happenings in the state is in line with their oath of office to uphold the rule of law and to defend democratic principles at all times. Speaking through its leader, Honorable Bamidele Salam, it condemned what it described as the brazen effrontery of the sacked APC Local Government Council officials to return to office through criminal takeover and forceful entry of all the local government secretariats across the state.
We use this medium to condemn the brazen effrontery of the sacked local government council officials to return to office, notwithstanding the yet to be set aside decision in spite of a subsisting judgment of the Court of Appeal, which has not been appealed by the All Progressive Congress or these dramatic personnel themselves. This former local government chairman decided to invade local government secretariats across the 30 local governments of Osun State today. The people of Osun State woke up to the criminal takeover of the local government secretariat across the state by these sacked officials who forcefully broke into the premises of the councils in several local governments, aided by thugs and hooligans who have been shooting sporadically, wreaking havoc on the people of the state, thereby constituting a very great nuisance and danger to the peaceful people of Osun State. Sadly, this is being perpetrated with the support of some security personnel, relying on a non-existent judgment of the Court of Appeal.
The caucus blamed the actions of the APC local government officials on the judgment of the Appeal Court, Akure, on the 10th of February 2025, which struck out the earlier obtained by the PDP to sack the product of 2022 local government election in the state, but have not passed any judgment on the one filed by the Action People's Party, APP, and obtained same nullification as the PDP.
We hereby call on His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Commander-in-Chief, who is the father of the nation, His Excellency President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and of course to all well-meaning persons, organizations, and groups, civil society, the media, and the international community, to call to order security personnel who are aiding and abetting this violation of the ground norm of Nigeria, which is the Nigerian Constitution, and the sanctity of the judiciary. We call on Mr. President to instruct the National Security Advisor and the Attorney General of the Federation to properly advise the leaders of the All Progressive Congress in Osun State to toe the line of constitutionality and legality. Once you have lodged an appeal against a matter in a court, it goes against common sense, it goes against reason, it goes against good conscience to come around and seek to use barbaric methods to impose your own will on the peaceful people of a state.
Recall that the governor of Osun State, Senator Ademola Adeleke, in the World Press Conference on Sunday, February 16, 2025, appealed to President Tinubu to rein in on the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Gboyega Oyetola, and his alleged attempts to influence the security forces in the state to perpetrate the illegal and forceful takeover. Governor of Osun State, Ademola Adeleke, has alleged the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Gboyega Oyetola, of planning to unleash violence in the state on Monday towards disrupting the local government polls slated to be held in the state this Saturday, 22nd of February. Governor Adeleke said his administration has it on good authority that the minister is planning to carry out the alleged plot in connivance with the state security operatives of the police, DSS, National Security and Civil Defense Corps to forcefully take over all the local government councils in the state. Governor Adeleke noted that the minister is according wrong and sentimental interpretations to the recent appeal court judgment on local government election litigation in the state. The governor raised the alarm at a press conference held at the government house where he appealed to President Tinubu and apex authorities of the DSS, NSCDC and National Security Advisor to wade in and prevent a breach of peace in the state.
I invite you all to expose a faceless anti-democratic agenda designed to enforce a non-existing court judgment on our local government. This evil plot is being spearheaded by the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Mr. Gboyega Oyetola, in active collaboration with Osun State Commissioner of Police, the Osun State Director of DSS, and the State Commandant of the Civil Defense Corps. I therefore appeal to Mr. President, who is a renowned Democrat, to insist on the rule of law by instructing the Inspector General of Police, the Director General of DSS, the Commandant General of Civil Defense Corps not to obey an illegal order from his nephew, Mr. Gboyega Oyetola. The Osun State security chiefs should also be called to order. I call on Mr. President to instruct the National Security Advisor and the Attorney General of the Federation to personally verify the fact the Court of Appeal judgment did not reinstate the sacked local government chairmen and councillors, and the fact that there is a subsisting judgment of court that sacked the chairman and councillor produced by the 2022 local government polls.
In another development, stakeholders of the APC in Osun State have dismissed allegations that the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Gboyega Oyetola, was plotting to destabilize the state. They described the allegations as mere fabrication that holds no water. The stakeholders insist that the contending appeal court judgment has validated the local government election of 2022 and has necessitated the return of the sacked council chairmen and councillors as they admonished Governor Adeleke to honor the rule of law. Meanwhile, reacting to the development, the State Police Public Relations Officer, CSP Yemisi Opadlola, who spoke on the phone, assured residents of police readiness to ensure the security of lives and property, while efforts to reach the PRO of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Kehinde Adeleke, proved abortive.
As a responsible party, we have been civil and law-abiding. That is why we have been seeking every legal means to ensure that the law take its due course.
It is surprising, however, that the government has begun to deploy so many tactics to avoid enforcement of the judgment, which ought to be automatic and immediate. The Governor Ademola Adeleke and his men had at initial stage alleged that the judgment did not reinstate the SAC officers, but after the colossal failure of these tactics, they rushed to other lower court judgment of the APP.
We'll take a pause here. News stories from the build sector are up next. Please stay with us.
Credible and authentic housing news at your fingertips by downloading the Housing TV mobile app. You can also join the African International Housing Show live from across the globe through the Housing TV mobile app. The mobile app features live streaming and trending housing news. You can locate the AIHS venue via the app, network with AIHS seasoned speakers, and live chat with exhibitors. You can also order house or building materials at AIHS via this app. Download the Housing TV mobile app now from the App Store and Google Play Store. And don't forget to click on the notification button. Available for both iOS and Android users. Housing TV is also on Star Times, channel 149 decoder.
You're still watching Housing TV News at the top of the hour. Now to the build sector. The Nigerian Institution of Civil Engineers is calling on government at all levels to engage thoroughbred professionals while carrying out engineering assignments, especially in the build industry. A move the body says, if implemented, will save costs, among others. This call was made known by the 4th Chairman, Nigerian Institution of Civil Engineers, Ogun State Chapter, Engineer Ismail Adeyemi, shortly after his inauguration was held in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. Engineer Adeyemi stressed that under his watch, the membership drive will be intensified, just as he urged the government to give in to training professionals periodically.
It is not only about NICE, it's about the Society of Engineers at large. Society has been pleading with the government from time to time the using of professionals in professional assignment. For instance, giving Minister of Works, Commissioner for Works, professionals that are in engineering field should be put to be saddled with this position, and many technological and engineering institutions should be given to engineers who are on the field, who knows, who have passed through the studies, who know what to give from time to time, and this will help the government in achieving and save costs on every engineering assignment. It's only to tell the government to continue to train and retrain the professionals in the government, in the civil service at large. We have many brains in the civil service that need to be retrained in this regard. You know, it is innovative, it's continuous education. So what we need is continuous training to meet up with the challenges as demanded.
On his part, the chairman of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Abeokuta branch, tasked the leadership of the Nigerian Institution of Civil Engineers to bring to bear technical expertise that will lead the state and the nation at large forward.
Looking at NICE, Nigerian Institution of Civil Engineers, Ogun State, as a division of Nigerian Society of Engineers, we see them as a technical arm of our society. So they are the technical arm of the branch. So I'm going to charge them to see how they can provide technical advice and also collaborations on how we can move our state, our society forward on infrastructure. We should look at infrastructure challenges we have in Ogun State, and they should provide solutions. To all these challenges in our society, so we can move forward and the state can be better for all.
We are somewhat dependent on technology built by foreigners, and I think it's about time that we start looking inward and try as much as possible to create something for ourselves and by ourselves. Let us localize technology. That was basically the essence of my topic. So for government, I think it's all about policy. because the government can't really do so much in making technology become a thing in this industry, especially in this profession. So the government have to look for ways to kind of support the guys that want to innovate.
The Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Ahmed Dangiwa, has received a high-level delegation from the Centenary City PLC, led by its Vice Chairman, Ayim Pius Ayim. The project, a federal government legacy initiative launched in 2014, aims to create a smart city and attract global investments to Nigeria. Dangiwa noted that the Centenary City project aligns with the Renewed Hope City agenda, focusing on inclusivity and addressing housing deficits. He emphasized the role of public-private partnerships in creating jobs as part of the Renewed Hope agenda. The minister, however, directed the PPP department to engage with Centenary City PLC on investor partnerships and connect them with the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission. He also emphasized the ministry's support in sourcing investors and developers for the projects. In another development, the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development and National Council on Climate Change, NCCC, have unveiled a working collaboration in order to enhance the achievement of climate resilience in housing and urban development. This was the outcome of the meeting held between the Housing Minister Architect Ahmed Dangiwa and the Director General and Chief Executive Officer of NCCC, Dr. Nkiruka Maduekwe. Dr. Maduekwe led a delegation on a courtesy visit to the office of the Minister of Housing and Urban Development to discuss areas of common interest and collaboration between the two agencies. Dangiwa emphasized on the importance of the intersection between climate change and the housing and urban development sector, highlighting that urban areas contribute over 70% of global greenhouse gas emissions, with Nigeria facing an urbanization rate exceeding 4% annually. In response, the Director General and Chief Executive Officer of NCCC, Dr. Nkiruka Maduekwe, emphasized the crucial link between climate resilience and urban development. She said the Council seeks stronger partnership with the ministry in order to achieve its goal, stressing on the need for stronger collaboration between the National Climate Secretariat and the ministry. The Directorate of Road Transport Services under the Federal Capital Territory Administration has launched an e-ticketing and central booking system to enhance traffic management and service delivery aimed at improving road traffic enforcement across Abuja. The Director of DRTS, Dr. Abdul Latif Bello, announced this initiative in Abuja on Monday. The new e-ticketing system will utilize advanced technology to track traffic violations and issue electronic tickets, minimizing direct interaction between enforcement officers and motorists, detecting infractions and ensuring that violators are promptly identified and ticketed. Bello, however, explained that the new system aligns with the FCT Transportation Secretariat's legal framework, stating that motorists who violate traffic rules will receive e-tickets and must pay fines within 7 days of face vehicle impoundment. The Nigerian Building and Road Research Institute has pledged to combat building collapses in Nigeria through strict quality assurance and the use of superior construction materials. This was made known by the Director General and the Chief Executive Officer of NBRLI, Professor Samson Duna, during a Thanksgiving service held yesterday at the Equa Church Central Area in Abuja in honor of his recent reappointment. Duna reaffirms the Institute's commitment to improving building standards, noting the need for advanced lab testing of poor quality asphalts, and announced the acquisition of state-of-the-art laboratories to address building collapses. Despite funding challenges, Duna expressed gratitude to President Tinubu's administration for the budget increase, which will help NBRLI acquire vital lab equipment for impactful research. From the foreign scene, Tanzania is poised for a transformative shift in its real estate sector with a new law aimed at ensuring structure, fairness and transparency, addressing issues like overpricing and fraud, and tackling the country's 3 million home housing deficit. The Director of Real Estate at the Ministry, Upendo Matotola, emphasized the need for reform to ensure a structured, transparent market for both local and foreign investors aimed at preventing inflation and market instability while providing accurate data for fair, predictable transactions. Industry leaders, including the CEO of Watumishi Housing Investment, Fred Masemwa, supports Tanzania's real estate reforms, urging the government to also create a development authority to boost growth and investment. Tanzania's real estate reform, however, promises a more stable, transparent market, positioning this country as a regional leader in property development while promoting economic growth and accessible home ownership. A deadly building collapse in Cairo on Monday killed 10 people and injured 8 others, with others trapped beneath the debris. The tragic collapse occurred in Kadesa, a working-class neighborhood where rescue teams worked tirelessly to rescue survivors from the debris. The state media reports that a possible gas cylinder explosion may have caused the collapse. However, investigations are underway into potential structural failures or negligence as victims' families demand accountability. The tragedy, however, has led to calls for tougher construction regulations, better oversight and stricter enforcement of building codes to prevent future disasters. And that's the much we can take on Housing TV News at the top of the hour. Before we go, a quick recap of our top stories. Federal government wants liberalized visa policies for Nigerian businesses. Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Architect Ahmed Dangiwa, highlights public-private partnership to bridge housing deficit. Federal Capital Territory Authority introduces e-ticketing system in Abuja. From the foreign scene, 10 dead in Cairo's building collapse. For more news in the housing sector, subscribe to Housing TV Africa on YouTube and follow Housing TV on all social media platforms. Download the Housing TV Africa mobile app on Google Play Store and Apple Store. I am Joyce Wilson. Thanks for watching.
Visit Housing TV Africa on YouTube and click on the subscribe button. Subscribe to Housing TV Africa to stay updated on latest happenings in Nigeria's housing sector. Follow our social media pages, like and share our posts. On Facebook, Housing TV Africa. On Twitter, Housing TV Africa. Instagram, Housing TV Africa.
Housing TV Africa, your first in housing development broadcasting.